Today we've got a new computer on the bench. This is my 128. This is the wrong computer. We need some magic. It's an Amiga 500. This is the first Amiga 500 I've ever had. It was sold to me pretty cheaply as the light comes on. What could possibly be wrong with it? Let's take a look. Right, so the Amiga came with a power supply and an A520, what do you call that? It's an RF modulator, isn't it? Which plugs into the D23 and gives us audio and video out and RF out. Well, RF out is useless, and I guess audio and video out is fine. Okay, but we're almost certainly not going to be using that because I've got a 23 pin to SCART, which will go to this TV in the course of time. I'm not going to plug it in now. Quick slurp. Amiga cup. Okay, this was sold to me with the description of the power light comes on. So I'm going to take its word for that. It does rattle slightly. So there's something loose inside. Don't know what it is. What I can do though is give that power supply a quick test. Let's move that back. Right. It's got 5 miles of cabling, which we really don't need in a desk this small. Now that's kind of an old manky plug, which I think I'm going to replace, but it's probably okay for this test. So I can plug this in. This is a switching socket strip, so we've got 2 sets of switches, one on the plug, one on the power supply. Now I can test, if I turn it upside down, it's actually got, I don't know if you can read that, it's actually got the pin out. So I can look at the pin out and I can say plus 12. It's definitely switched off, plus 12. Signal ground, plus 5 volts. The middle one, it just says 12 volts, whereas the other one says plus 12, so I think that must mean, really must mean minus 12. And shield ground. Okay, now what I've got is a couple of bits of heat shrink sleeve, so what I can do is, let's go to the signal ground. First of all, let's just find out. I'll plug that for a second. Fine, what I'll do is I'll slip signal ground and plus of 5 volts. So this should maintain some isolation, so let's just switch this to volts. There, so you can see it. And we'll switch them on. That one should be ground, and that one should be 5 volts. Nothing. That's interesting. on. And oh no, there it is, 5 volts, 5.3. Okay, so we'll go to the middle pin. Minus 12, minus 11.95. And that pin should be plus 12. Plus 12, yes. Let's just check if there's anything between those two. No, there's nothing there. Okay, so we've got a good power supply. I'm still not going to plug it in because we do not know what lurks beneath the screws and covers and plates and pieces of plastic and pieces of metal and goodness knows what. Okay, so let's turn this guy over. Warranty seal is broken. There we go. A battery. Oh, there's a RAM board in there. Can we get it out? It doesn't want to come. Let's not force it. Let's open the screws. Quick slurp. See what lurks beneath. That I think is just the expansion port. I don't think there are any screws under there. Nope. I'll leave it off now. Maybe it just, okay, it just lifts off. It's kind of grubby, but really what you would expect. Ugh. That's ugh. Okay. And that's a battery, a leaky battery. And it doesn't want to focus, that's really typical, isn't it? Let's go handheld. Just look at that. That is as green as they come. There is only one thing to do with that, and that's chuck it in a bucket of vinegar. And then we have to see how bad the damage is across the rest of the circuit board. Because you can see it's leaked. All those contacts have gone green, so that means that the green is going to have spread under there somewhere. We're going to have to get this shield off and see how bad the damage is. Okay. So the keyboard can come off. We don't need for that for now. Look at this dust bunny. Oh. Right, so we've got more Torx screws. What is that? Can you see that? I'm going to get the camera on it again. because that looks like an exploded capacitor. Look at it. Look at that. Well, that was definitely... I'm glad I didn't plug it in, because it's definitely not going to work. Look at that. I'll film that again tomorrow with daylight, and we'll see what it looks like in the cold light of day. Actually, there's a bit of green. There's a bit of green on these contacts. But that looks a bit gunky, but the traces themselves look to be okay. That could be famous last words, of course. I've never really dealt with a leaky capacitor in that kind of sense, but we definitely need that capacitor has more than leaked. That's going to be my thumbnail, you know. Look at that. Just look at that. I wonder whether that's caused any damage to anything else on the board. I wonder what that was driven. C821. Let's look that up on the circuit diagram and see what that does. It's next to the cable to the floppy drive. Okay, so back to business. Let's get this. When we return from making a nice cup of tea, that will be out. And then we will chuck it in some vinegar. See you in a bit. This is the first Amiga 500 I've ever had.